Where are we starting on this hottest of presses?
Well, Cal, it's Melody with All Pressure, No Diamonds, and this is an EP, and of course that stands for what, Liam?
Evangelical party people.
Okay.
It gets tougher that every time.
That's what we're going with today. There's 4 tracks, one of which I believe we may have covered previously. But if you were to tell me which one, or even ask me, I wouldn't tell you because I wouldn't know. Anyway, Black Dog is the first one. You know what? Let's save everyone the pain. Let's save everyone the pain. Yeah. Every one of these is all right, but forgettable. Yeah. The most enjoyable one for me out of a bad bunch, well, all right bunch, is Worse for Wear, which is pretty much the EP, bit worse for wear, isn't it?
A little bit, just so lackluster. I think the only semi-standout for me is the chorus on Hyperreal, and I wouldn't necessarily say it's a chorus in terms of structure. I just think the singer is just doing a bit more. It's the same song 4 times. It's so disappointing. What has happened to the band that released London I Love You?
I think that is the thing, though. They were always making songs that sounded like that. It was just that was the best version of that song.
Probably.
Yeah, like they haven't changed their sound or anything. I think it's very melody. But yeah, they peaked very early. And I agree with everything you've said. I also agree that Worse for Wear is probably the best of the 4. Pressure Build, which was the single, I find slightly irritating. Something about it, the vocals and stuff. I just not a fan. Yeah, it's a shame.
No, it's Melody. It's Melody, mate, not shame.
Sorry.
No, it's not them either. Next up, we've got singles coming up. So strap on in. It's The National with Eucalyptus. Sorry in advance, but it's going to be very crap week. Didn't interest me at all, this track.
Oh, I really enjoyed it for the time I spent with it, but it doesn't make me necessarily want to go back to it as a standalone track. But I am very excited to listen to the album as a whole. I really like the vocals on this, which, as I've said, is something I've struggled with The National in the past. It just sounds lovely. Lovely.
It does sound nice, as have the other singles. This is the weakest song, though, I feel, from the singles. It didn't grab me that much. I also felt like it was about a minute too long. I definitely got to a point. It was towards the very end, to be fair, of the 4+ minutes, but where I felt like, this needs to finish soon. And yeah, it just didn't do anything new compared to those other singles, and I'm just concerned the whole album's just going to be a bit flat.
Flat indeed. Next up, it is Reverend and the Makers. The song A Letter to My 21-year-old Self. I couldn't move past the shite vocal production on this. It was so blaringly auto-tuned in parts, and it didn't seem like that was meant to be like a stylistic thing either. It just sounded like it was a bad vocal take, and they've had to auto-tune it quite heavily. And also his voice was annoying because of whatever they did, like too compressed. It was too like in your face for what it was. So I couldn't pay attention to anything else. I was too distracted by how much I hated the vocals. I didn't really feel like it was that good a song anyway.
No. I've not really enjoyed the singles they've released for this upcoming album, which is a shame because I do like Reverend of the Makers. I didn't enjoy the vocals either.
So dramatic.
That was so dramatic.
You could have just cut that. The thing is, I'm here now.
He's here.
You don't even cut out the coughs.
No, because I edit you two. I edit us all on times 100 speed because I have a life.
That seems impractical.
That's why there's quite often problems. But what I will say is I do like the chorus in this track. I think it elevates the track quite well. However, I still don't particularly like the song.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. I only listened to it once, and then when it came back through again, I skipped it. There's nothing about this I enjoyed. I'm going to be brutally honest here. I felt like with the last single, which I was going to guess the name, but I can actually just load
Problems.
it because I've got a pretty quick computer. Oh, maybe it wasn't the last one then. Heatwave and then a Cold North.
Oh, that's the first one, yeah.
I feel like that had something going for it.
Yeah, you two quite like that.
Yeah, it was all right. Bit of a bop. I mean, not really like I don't really feel like this is Rev's kind of this is where he should be. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like this is the music he should be making in terms of that song. But I thought he did pretty well for what it was. And then this just feels like a really you've still got the strings there, but it's so uninspired. And lyrically, whatever. I'd seen the whole campaign he's done separately, for this single, I suppose, about people writing letters to themselves. And the concept, great, I get it. And then when I listen to the song, I thought, fuck me, there's no wonder he's putting so much fucking effort into campaigning for the song without actually getting anyone to listen to the song, because that's not the best. That's absolutely the worst.
He's also been doing house gigs for a while.
Yeah, they've done that throughout their career, and they've always looked mad, to be fair. I mean, yeah, this, they are. I do really like Reverend of the Makers. Massive band for me growing up, and seeing them live loads, and they're fantastic. But as Liam said, this just isn't really the direction, that I want, and that I really think suits the band. But power to them if this is what they're enjoying. Go ahead, but I
say cut the power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I ain't coming along for the ride.
Someone flick that little circuit breaker.
Yeah. Moving on, Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds with the song Dead to the World. It just needs to go somewhere, and it doesn't go anywhere.
In the bin.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily that bad, Liam, but
no, it doesn't deserve
it's just so dull.
Nothing
he
happens.
Obviously knows how to write music and make music sound nice, but fuck me, it's boring. People always say about him being a dull man. He is a dull man.
Yeah.
I can't get past that. There's nothing. I didn't enjoy any aspect of this song.
I like the strings, but I feel like we say that most weeks, so it's not actually becoming a standout thing in songs anymore. It's just becoming, there's strings in there.
It's a standard.
I know that I like that. I will focus on that. But it's pleasant enough, but it is boring, yeah.
Next up, Tribes with the song Hard Pill. Now, Tribes, I believe, are a band that you enjoyed from your youth, Liam. Is that right?
Youth, yeah, capital F at the end there.
Youth.
Yeah, the album Baby, The Enemy. I'm not well. I'm very shocked that neither of you, particularly you, Callum, never really heard any of these songs. But I was a big Enemy guy back at this very time, and I think I had an Enemy cover on my wall. It was a Tribes cover, blah blah. So yeah, revisited that album recently. I told you guys to listen to it.
Yep.
And to
I
very upsetting results.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah,
not
wasn't
good.
Wasn't
Very
enjoyable,
not
no.
good.
Oh, it's definitely a product of its time,
Yes.
and I'm sure nostalgia plays with that. I do think there's a couple of really good tunes on there still for me, but maybe that's nostalgia.
Very false.
Yeah.
But this is the return.
1 second.
I think it's been 10 years since they released that last album, and they did break up. I remember hearing they split up, and now they're back to milk that cash cow. I think this new track, Hard Pill,
Do you want me to help you? It's pretty average, mate. It's pretty average.
I feel like it's fine, and if it came on in a playlist in the summer, you're in the garden or something, it's got a good vibe, I suppose. There is nothing extremely standout about it. I really like his voice, so that kind of elevates it a little bit for me, I suppose. but obviously a lot of that is just a nostalgia thing. But
Yeah.
For me, I tried to listen to this numerous times. Well, I did listen to this numerous times with the sole purpose of making notes about it, because try as I might, I couldn't do so. However, I will say that I enjoyed it, but I don't know what I enjoyed. I think it might have just been that it wasn't that album you asked me to listen to, Liam. The chorus is pretty good as well, which stand out in the track.
Yeah, I thought the chorus was alright, yeah.
I think they've not done themselves too dirty with this track, and I think there could be some good stuff to come. And I think that's kind of what they've left it. They've not overly excited on the first kind of drop, but there could be something on the horizon.
Could be.
Yeah, that's not right. A really, really great song. As every band thinks. Low Hummer is next with the song Connected. Not their best, not their worst. That is my thoughts.
That was very fast. I really like this. I really like Low Hummer. This is not a surprise. One thing I do like is the alternate vocals in the chorus. We've had many a debate on the Falls on the Hill podcast as to whether or not we prefer Amy's vocals or Dan's vocals, I think.
Amy all the way.
We've landed on we prefer Amy's vocals.
I just want to say I don't care about any of this.
Okay,
Good
well
job,
that's how a podcast works, Liam.
Okay.
But
There's a reference in there, but no, I obviously didn't do it very well.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, but I like the track.
It didn't really connect that well,
I do quite like that vocal thing they did in the chorus, Colin, as you mentioned there. I don't really enjoy what they're singing about. I think that's all a bit again. Something about lyrics lately, it just feels so uninspired on a lot of tracks, and this is one of them. And musically, I don't know, it just feels pretty like cut and paste. Not necessarily from Low Hummer. I mean, their music's never really stuck in my mind much, but just general today's music. Are they with who are they with? Nice One?
No,
Oh, no,
I
they're not.
actually couldn't tell you.
They're not actually, which is interesting. They're with Dance to the Radio, if anyone wants to know. But you know, it's that, isn't it? That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Next up, Dead Letter, The Snitching Hour. Very repetitive, this. I thought maybe too repetitive.
I like this. I wasn't expecting the sounds that happened to happen when they did. Pretty funky. Bit King Cruel reminiscent. Not as good, but in that ballpark. The vocals were interesting. Yeah, it was a little pat on the head slapper type thing.
A little patter.
A little patter.
A little patter.
Knee patter. I've relatively enjoyed all the Dead Letter stuff we've done so far. I quite like the vibe. I like how strong the bass is in the mix on all their songs. And very kind of present. And I also like the sound of I like his voice. I like the voice.
Why don't you marry him, then?
I don't know. He's just like, he's like my Romeo. But yeah, this tune, there's some great like horn moments. There's some great vocal moments. There's some like nice little guitar bits throughout the song. I do kind of get what you're saying, Yanni, about being repetitive, but there's enough of those little moments that kind of keep it going for me. And yeah, I'm feeling alright about Dead Letter. They've not let me down yet. I'm not saying they're holding me up very high, but they've not yet let me down.
Okay. BC Camp Light, there's 2 songs to cover here. The first one, She's Gone Cold. And then the second one is Kicking Up a Fuss. They're very different tracks, which is good for one of the tracks. The first one bored me. That is She's Gone Cold. The second track, Kicking Up a Fuss, was a lot better, in my opinion. And I'd be more interested in hearing more of this kind of sound.
Ding dong, Yanni, you have hit the jackpot. Yeah, I much prefer the second track. I did enjoy the first one, but not nearly as much. And I would like to give props to BC Camp Light. for the serious devotion to British daytime television as an American songwriter. Love that.
Yeah, I like that little nod to Cal as well. I've from these two on the first single, Last Rotation of the Earth, I think it's called.
Mhm.
I'm just a big fan of the sounds. I'm a big fan of the how these songs are put together. I think it's got a great voice. And yeah, I'm generally just enjoying the vibe of BC Camplight from these new singles. And yeah, a separate point really, but also about the same, about kicking up a fuss, is the one part of it, maybe the chorus, reminds me a little bit of that Spark song that we did fairly recently.
All right.
Crying into her latte.
Yeah, it's got like a weird like part to it that reminds me of that chick crying into a latte. So
Latte.
something latte, a nice latte. Sorry, side note, I got a toffee latte today from
note.
the Mackies, and I said toffee latte.
Mika Awabe. Oh,
chocolate.
Liam. I bet they
chocolate
thought you
sauce.
were right, idiots.
Yes.
Cheek face.
No,
No?
Claro.
Oh, fuck. It's not on my list.
I only remembered just before we started recording.
You
Oh,
silly
nice.
bitch.
Spoiler. I've listened to it, but it's just not in.
Okay, well, Claro's the song for now, which is apparently a demo. It is up on Bandcamp. It's a single released for a charity of some kind. Cannot tell you the name. I'm sorry about that.
It's for the Gwals.
What?
Hang on. I think they're called For the Gwals and Every Town for Gun Safety.
Okay.
I can't quite work out the first part of that, but I'm sure you get an idea of
What the for the walls part? What's
For the
Gwal?
Gwals
How are you
and
spelling
Every
that?
Town? Gwals. How do you think it's
Are you
spelled?
Like girls in a
It's spelled
New York City accent.
GW. I assume that's what they're going for. It's spelled GWORLS.
Okay. Anyway, this song.
Coffee.
This was nice enough, very relaxing, chilled out. I'm going to be honest with you, boys. I've gone on a bit of a Claro dive
Oh, this guy.
deep into that pond. No euphemism there, so stop giggling, boys.
Boys.
for the boys.
For the boys.
Bloody hell, we're silly, aren't we? Anyway,
silly, goofy boys, just normal men.
Silly
just all men.
fools.
It's just innocent men.
Innocent men.
The amount of times we said that on Saturday was
Really?
not normal. Yeah, it was,
Oh, okay.
well, I said it a lot.
You said it to yourself, Carl, I think, a few times. I don't remember you saying
I
it.
was sober as well. No, me and Yanni were saying it to each other loads.
I remember saying it
Oh.
once, do you?
No,
Anyway.
it was frequent.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, I love Clara. It's what I'm getting at now.
Good stuff. This song sounds lovely. We'll probably never revisit unless it's on a future album or whatever.
It will be.
Okay, great.
You've been warned.
Lovely,
Oh, I'm telling you, it will be.
lovely voice. Karis likes Claro, and we've got one of her records. So I will put that on later, maybe.
Have you?
Which record have you got?
You haven't got the
Well,
second album, have you?
I don't know. I don't know.
Have you got Immunity, or have you got...
I don't know.
He doesn't know
I can't
the
remember what the second album's called. My thoughts are that... Yeah, this is from...
Sling.
Sling, that's it. Sling's a great album. This is from an upcoming album. I believe that's true.
It
This
is.
song will be, but yeah, from what I read, this is a demo of the song that will be on the upcoming album. Although it sounds pretty fleshed out.
Pretty finished, bro.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
I'm pretty sure it is
and yeah,
Immunity we've got. Just
Callum,
Okay.
it's far too late to answer that question. Bags is a great song.
Yeah, it is. Of course it is, Liam. There's a lot of good
God
songs on that album. God damn.
Oh,
goddamn. Next up, Cheat
but yeah,
Face.
Pleasant.
Yeah, okay, thanks,
Cheek
Liam.
Fleece.
Yeah,
Cheek
brilliant,
Fleece.
Liam. Thanks, mate. Cheek Face, popular too.
Papa
This
who?
has been listened to at the wrong point in time for me because I just found it very annoying.
yeah, it's It's Cheekface, isn't it? I like Cheekface.
Yeah, definitely.
But Cheekface, for the love of all that's holy,
do something different.
Please write a sad song or something. I'm so sick of this obnoxious happiness. I've got it.
Big cup of noodles. That's pretty sad.
Not really.
Depends how you listen to
It's
it.
just all the inflections on the voice are always the same. It's always the same. You could just tell that he's singing with a smile.
Have you seen him singing live? He genuinely does sing with a smile.
Yeah, you can just tell.
He's quite a big mouth. Can be handy in life. Yeah, this is. Well, I think the problem. It's not a problem necessarily, but the thing with saying that they all sound the same is that that's exactly what Cheekface are, and it's.
Yeah, but come
it
on.
almost seems. I agree, but it almost feels pointless to say that. But also, then there's not much more to say.
All right then.
So, no, I didn't mean that in a disparative way. You know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, this is Cheekface, and there's some good lyrics, and it's all as good as all the other Cheekface stuff.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on you, Cheekface.
Listen,
I've
I'm
done.
not shitting on you, shitting on Cheekface.
I'm not shitting on
We're
Cheekface.
all friends here.
I've done that in the past.
And someone
I'm
shit
not
on me.
about that vibe anymore.
I'll pay you.
Good. I do like that they've got a different way of writing Cheekface.
Didn't
On the single art.
notice that.
Something different in it.
The only thing that's different.
You've got to keep an eye out for these differences.
Moorish Idol's Chum. It's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually really quite like this one. I thought you'd probably enjoy this more. To be honest, both of you.
Don't
I
tell me what
thought
I
the
should like.
music was pretty cool, but I don't know. Maybe I didn't give it enough time and energy. But
I really like the kind of that stuff that was going on throughout the song. That was all pretty cool. I did notice I listened to this in the car before, and I've just put it on now. There's no low end on this song. It's so like all
There is.
high. Yeah,
But not very deep.
Yanni,
Slow mids,
Let
slow
me
mids. Slow mids.
exaggerate, please.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting, and I was happy to listen to it, and I'll be happy to listen to more from these guys. See what else is going on. I feel like they've came up with some pretty interesting sounds and ways of doing things on the song.
Yeah, Baxter Dury with the song Leon.
This so this again has Jay Gray attached, and I think I read earlier that she is involved for the whole album.
Okay.
It's also mentioned Madeleine Hart, who I believe is just a normal vocalist that's always with Baxter Dury, but interestingly is mentioned separately on this one. So I feel a bit lost. I don't know who the female vocalist is. I don't know if Jay Gray is singing or if she's doing production or something.
Well,
Who knows?
on the topic of female vocalists, I do enjoy the female vocals in this when they come in. It was a decent song. It did kind of grab me, to be honest with you. So I will have to revisit it because I was playing Hogwarts Legacy while listening to all these, and that took priority.
naturally, I really like this track. I don't like it as much as I like Aylesbury Boy, the last single. I am a massive fan of that.
Huge.
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 But this is a very solid start to this new album campaign, in my humble opinion. The really like the rappy bit. I know Baxter's kind of like all spoken word, but there's like a little rappy bit at the start.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of this one. No. I'm a fan of this one. I'm not as big a fan as I am with Aylesbury Boy. I agree with you there, Callum. I do feel like the story. I understand what the story is going on here, but I feel like some of the lyrics made no sense. Like what I'm saying. Basically. Some of the words seem to make some of the lines seem to make no sense. But I do very much appreciate that he's clearly coming into this album. And what's it called? I Thought I Was Better Than You or something like that.
I think that might be it.
And from this song and the other song, he seems to be coming in like 2-footed to like be like, no, fuck you, Dad. I'm who I am, sort of thing. And like really picking apart that kind of part of his life, which seems interesting. I'm intrigued by that. I know he released a book recently.
Why don't you read it then? Yeah?
Okay.
Instead of chatting large ear on the recording, why don't you read the fucking
Chatting
book?
large ear. Who are you? Turn 25, creating new phrases. Who the fuck do you think you are?
I am not your fellow DJ. Next up, we've got LA Priest with the song Star, and I thought it was decent. I like the sort of phasey guitars that were in it at points. Yeah.
It doesn't do much for me, I'm afraid. Just didn't really sound that great, in my opinion. But I did kind of have to cram this one in towards the end. Some interesting things going on in the guitar, but overall, it just, you know.
I really like this song, to be honest. I can see there being a limit in terms of the song structure and things like that. I feel like that's pretty standard and like vocals and lyrics, but musically I thought it was really interesting. I thought the kind of interplay between the guitars and the bass, particularly in the intro, was very interesting. I love that bass tone, that very kind of like double bassy sounded tone, and then there's one guitar that I love the tone of as well.
Tone.
I did listen to the other single that they've put out before this one. Didn't grab me as much as this one, but I'm interested in hearing more for sure.
Tell me about it, stud. Next up, we got James Ellis Ford with Squeaky Wheel. Liam, can you do your best Squeaky Wheel impression for me? Thank you very much. Yeah, that'll do.
No, thanks.
I'm just not interested.
Yeah, I think this will be the last one I put on Notion of James Ford.
Please.
I would like to extend my apologies, James Ford. However, I think your expertise are best shared with the world from the other side of the mixing desk. I got so bored, I don't think I made it through 30 seconds.
Yeah, I thought there were some cool production stuff in this one. There's like that kind of sounded really cool. But the song itself, fuck me, boring. So boring.
Did anyone finish it? Did anything happen?
I don't know.
I tried to block this out the minute it finished, if I'm honest. I can't remember.
Fair.
I think it was the same the whole way through.
Yeah, let's say it was. Opus Kink returning with 118. Boys, please take it away because I have not made notes. I'll have to remind myself what I thought.
Well, Opus Kink. We all know I love Opus Kink. So the bias is probably strong. However, I just love Opus Kink, you know. Slapper territory again for me. Just everything about it I love. And I want an album right now. Provided, obviously, it's good quality.
The EP's coming relatively soon, I assume.
Have we ordered that? I was meant to ask.
Yeah, I think
we did. Yeah, we did.
What a great decision, past Callum. Well done.
We ordered it, and then very quickly after they sold signed ones. They love to do that. They love to do that nice one.
Fucking.
Yeah, and this is another great Opus Kink song. To be honest, when it started, I thought, oh, it's just Opus Kink again. But it's just Opus Kink again, so it gets pretty good. It's not the same kind of thing as what we say with Cheek Face. Because obviously there's a lot going on in an Opus Kink song, and like the horns and stuff are great. It's very true to their style. It's very kind of epic, and all the rest of it.
Definitely epic. Like second half where it sort of just gets heavy and loud, and he starts screaming his head off.
Yeah,
great. I can imagine that is fucking insane live.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. And finally, we've got Water From Your Eyes. Oh, there's somebody crying. And it's the song True Life. I like this one compared to the first track we covered by them, which I think you two did like.
Barley.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know if the weird like screechy noise is too loud. It goes between your ears.
It's upsetting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's comfortably upsetting. It makes me feel it levels me out. I feel like listening to the song.
Okay.
And it was the same with the other song where it kind of like it's like white noise almost.
Just noise.
just noise, white noise. But I do think like whatever they're doing, it's so like not discernible whatsoever what's going on. But there's such a clear like rhythm and stuff to this song that it's I find it fascinating. To be honest, I'd love to understand what's happening. What are these sounds? I don't know. I want to see them kind of pull it apart and show us. But yeah, like the vocals are great as well. Kind of like a dance tune that's fucked up. So fucked up. Big fan.
You can't really follow that. I didn't like it as much as Barley, but it's a great tune nonetheless.